Episode 56, she August 30th, 2024. UK Drax wood-burning industry ordered to pay $25 million fine. In episode 56, she 1 World, 2 United States, 3 Alabama, 4 Arizona, 5 California, 6 Colorado, 7 Georgia. Georgia Power wants to burn wood for fuel, but environmentalists say no. Who decides? 8 Idaho, 9 Indiana, 10 Kentucky, 11 Montana, 12 Nevada, 13 New Jersey, 14 New York, 15 Ohio, 16 Oregon, 17 Pennsylvania, 18 Texas, 19 Canada, 20 Australia, 21 United Kingdom, and North Carolina. Air quality stripes illustrate changing concentrations of particulate matter since beginning of Green Car Congress. 21B United Kingdom Drax wood-burning industry ordered to pay $25 million fine. 21D United Kingdom London. Magazine article. Environmental Pollution Volume 360 November 1st, 2024 124720 Environmental Pollution. Associations between short-term exposure to airborne carbonaceous particles and mortality. A time series study in London during 2010 to 2019-21, a United Kingdom Miliband Energy Secretary. Green groups urge Ed Miliband to scrap Drax subsidies. 22 Europe. Environment statistics at regional level. European Commission European Union air pollution is a major cause of premature death and disease. 23 Sweden. 24 Germany and Finland. German company to build world's largest heat pump in Helsinki. Euractiv woodburning, a practice harmful to forests and human lungs. After all, Finland is one of the EU's most enthusiastic burners of wood. In the EU with fine particulate matter, PM2.5, deemed to have the most severe impacts. 25 Kazakhstan, 26 China, 27 India, and PM2.5 polluting wood-fired bakeries. 28 Nepal, 29 Singapore, 30 PM2.5 and human health. Main Content.1A World. PM2.5 and Life Index. Air Quality Life Index, AQLI, 2024, Drishti IAS PM2.5 particulate matter that are 2.5 micrometers or less in diameter. 94 countries have established PM2.5 standards, of which 37 fail to 0.1B World. Global study reveals mixed success in tackling deadly air pollution MSN. Fine particulate matter PM2.5 has a negative impact on air quality 0.1C World. Air pollution cuts global life expectancy by 2 years. Deadlier than smoking study down to earth. The report revealed that if PM2.5 particulate matter that are 2.5 according to the report, 94 countries have established PM2.5 standards, of which 2 a United States. Researchers make disturbing air pollution discovery in small rural town. Why the future of wood-burning stoves in homes is uncertain. MSN. A recent U.S. study discovered that indoor wood-burning increased the risk of lung cancer in women by 43%. PAHs are also crucial to limit. They note that using wood-burning stoves increases the amount of carbon dioxide and methane released into the planet's air, which contributes to pollution and could be a factor in climate change. 2B United States. Smokeless or not smokeless. RAWSEP View is that outdoor fire pits are not smokeless. Where is the public health intervention that is needed? A grate is not a public health intervention. When cowed by advertising, when sheep-like people endure and inhale a crowd-sized version of sharing 1,000 cigarettes all at once, are they thinking of their near neighbors who also breathe in the cancer-causing air pollution? From the headline/advertisement. Excerpts edited by RAWSEP for brevity and clarity in relationship to Residents Against Wood Smoke Emission Particulates, a 501c3 nonprofit organization. Reviewers call this smokeless fire pit a game-changer for outdoor gatherings. HuffPost 4 Seasons 30-inch courtyard wood-burning outdoor fire pit. Although not smokeless, this budget-friendly fire pit has a grate to protect against. RAWSEP View. What would a family intervention for an indoor residential wood-burner be like? At least the alcoholic at an intervention could plead alcohol addiction, and the rejoinder from family members could be asking the alcoholic to go to rehab. The cigarette addict at an intervention could agree to slap on a nicotine patch and speak to his loved ones to get support in his struggle, or talk to a counselor weekly in person or daily by phone. Maybe the problem is that there is no pricey rehab hotels to which an indoor residential woodburners could be sent to break each habit of indoor residential woodburning. A stay at a resort hotel could separate the indoor residential woodburner from his device of choice that pollutes the air of his neighborhood and specifically pollutes the air of his near neighbors. But wait, indoor residential woodburning is not physically addictive like alcohol or nicotine is. The indoor residential woodburner could just stop indoor residential woodburning and suffer no physical withdrawal symptoms. Withdrawal from indoor residential wood-burning advertising is also not necessary unless the indoor residential woodburner is unable to separate fantasy from reality. The indoor residential woodburner will also have to think of ways to socialize without risking cancer and early death. Or more likely, the solitary indoor residential woodburner will have to fill his former air-polluting solitary death spiral with healthier activities. Racking his brain, he may come up with sports on a playing field, running, jogging, walking, gardening, walking the dog, playing with the cat, or reading the latest online news aggregator. Residents Against Wood Smoke Emission Particulates, a 501c3 nonprofit organization. 3 Alabama. Woods fire on Old Range Line Road. City of Mobile, a fire line has been cut around the fire containing hotspots. Within the burned area, hotspots are expected to smolder and emit smoke until they burn for Arizona, Coconino, and Mojave counties. Breaks in main water pipeline for Grand Canyon. Prompt shutdown of overnight hotel stays. Fox 13 Seattle fire restrictions prohibit all wood burning and charcoal fires, including campfires, warming fires, and charcoal barbecues. For more information, Grand Canyon National Park halts overnight stays after significant breaks in water supply. KTLA Grand Canyon National Park is halting overnight hotel stays and imposing fire restrictions after all wood burning and charcoal fires, including Grand Canyon closes hotels ahead of Labor Day weekend over water pipe break. iHeart. In addition, no wood burning and charcoal fires will be allowed in the South Rim and the Inner Canyon areas. The park will remain open for day use. 4B Arizona. The Arizona Department of Environmental Quality has issued an ozone high pollution. Arizona Emergency Information Network conserve electricity. HPA restrictions. Wood burning in residential fireplaces, chimneous outdoor fire pits, and similar outdoor fires is prohibited. 5A California. Where to have a beach bonfire in Orange County. Orange Coast Magazine. RAWSEP View. It is irresponsible to create air pollution with wood smoke from beach fires in a state that is already inundated with wildfire smoke. From the article, 200 wood burning fire rings available. Corona del Mar State Beach, Newport Beach. 24 total fire rings, 16 wood and charcoal, 8 charcoal, only 5B California. Escondido. Resident recounts Escondido apartment fire as she figures out next steps. 10news.com smoke alarm going off. And by the time it got to my door, I'm like sniffing, and all of a sudden, I smelt the wood burning, Walker said. 6A Colorado. Smoke beginning to subside at Sugar Mill Fire in Longmont, Denver. 7. When firefighters arrived, they found that the fire was concentrated around wood materials stored in a machine shed. Crews could not go into the 6B Colorado. BLM prescribed fires planned on Carpenter Ridge and West Dolores Rim. Bureau of Land Management prescribed fire smoke may affect your health. For more information, visit https://www.colorado.gov/pacific/kfi/woodsmoky and health.6 Colorado. Fire burning at abandoned sugar mill in Longmont, Denver. 9 News crews found the fire concentrated around wood materials that had been stored in a machine shed for years. They were able to use a tower truck to 7 Georgia. Georgia Power wants to burn wood for fuel, but environmentalists say no. Who decides? Columbus Ledger Inquirer. Burning of wood pellets for power emits more carbon per megawatt produced than burning coal, said Othelius Cato, an organizer for Georgia. Critics blast Georgia Power plan to burn wood for fuel as critics warn of costs. Pollution. Georgia recorder wood is still the largest energy resource for biomass, which is energy produced from plant or animal waste. Critics argue that wood burning plants. Georgia power biomass projects spark opposition. Capitol Beat. Burning wood pellets releases more greenhouse gas emissions per unit of energy than burning fossil fuels like gas, oil, or even coal. 8 Idaho. Idaho Boise. Hazy skies. Wildfire smoke is hitting the Treasure Valley hard. KTVB.com. KTVB air quality indexes have soared into the very unhealthy in Stanley and the Wood River Valley/Sun Valley before sunrise. Boise is also in the red. Wapiti fire makes run toward Lower Stanley State/Regional MTExpress.com. Idaho Mountain Express Wood River Valley crews head north. The Wapiti fire was about 2 miles west of Stanley on Tuesday evening, August 27th. Update 11 a.m. on Wednesday, August. Idaho. Wapiti fire smoke smothers Ketchum Sun Valley State/Regional MTExpress.com. Idaho Mountain Express. Smoke south and southeast toward Blaine County instead of northeast. 8:30 p.m. Wood River Valley fire agencies were asked to send 5-9 Indiana. Air quality alert in effect. Vincennes PBS. The alert has been issued due to elevated levels of fine particulate matter, known as PM2.5, which are expected to reach the unhealthy for sensitive 10 Kentucky. Louisville GE Appliances first build nugget ice creator turns 10. The Courier Journal. RAWSEP View. Polluting wood burning should not be included in this appliance. From the article, the most recent models feature flush installation electric heating zones that combine a coal and wood burning cook and an LED touchscreen in an 11 Montana. Behavioral responses to wildfire smoke. A case study in Western Montana. Springer Ward T. and Lang T. 2010. The impact of wood smoke on ambient PM2.5 in northern Rocky Mountain Valley communities. 12 Nevada. Local Nevada woman dies on first day of Burning Man. Las Vegas Review Journal. Excerpts edited by RAWSEP for brevity and clarity in relationship to Residents Against Wood Smoke Emission Particulates, a 501c3 nonprofit organization. 26 2002 file photo. The sun rises behind a wood and neon statue, the centerpiece of the annual Burning Man Festival north of Gerlach, Nevada. Burning Man's emergency service team responded to an unresponsive person at 11:29 a.m. Sunday morning, according to the Burning Man Project. They attempted life-saving measures, but she was unresponsive. The Pershing County Sheriff's Office was notified by the team of a potential death at 11:37 a.m., according to Pershing County Sheriff. The death remains under investigation while the cause and manner are determined, and the sheriff said he will not release the name until the next of kin can be notified. Sunday was the first day of the week-long event in Nevada's Black Rock Desert. Nevada. Death of woman on first day of Burning Man Festival under investigation. WODTV.com. Authorities are investigating the death of a 39-year-old woman on the first day of the Burning Man Festival in Nevada's Black Rock Desert. Burning Man's emergency services personnel found the festival attendee, Kendra Fraser, unresponsive around 11:30 a.m. Sunday, according to the Burning Man Project and Pershing County Sheriff. 13 New Jersey. Family-owned pizza catering biz launches brick and mortar in Point Pleasant. Biz RAWSEP View. One more addition to the establishments that use an unnecessarily highly polluting way to bake a simple pizza. RAWSEP recommends using a variety of delicious spices instead of employing wood burning that smothers a pizza with carbon that resembles the dirt usually found on a restaurant floor. From the article synopsis. A Jersey Shore-based mobile pizza company known for its wood-fired pies is making its brick and mortar debut wood-burning oven imported from Naples. 14 A New York Verona. $50 million expansion at Point Place Casino. United Dispatch. RAWSEP View. This unnecessary wood burning pollutes unnecessarily. From the article, an update for the fireside lounge that will double its current size and add a 360-degree view of the wood-burning fireplace with cozy new seating. 14 B New York. Air quality health advisory issued for Long Island region. NISDEC, New York State Department of Environmental Conservation, in y.gov. PM2.5, such as smoking. Additional information on ozone and PM2.5 is available on DEC's website and on DOH's website, ozone/PM2.5. A new DEC 15th Ohio. Several central Ohio counties under an air quality alert on Monday. MSN, partly to mostly sunny skies with temperatures in the mid-90s, and regional smoke will enhance ozone production throughout the day, MORPC said. 16 Oregon. Wallowa Whitman National Forest lowers public use restrictions to Phase B. Elkhorn Media Group, Northeast Oregon release from the U.S. Forest Service. Wallowa Whitman National Forest fire wood-burning stoves may be used if equipped with a Liquefied and bottled gas stoves and heaters may be used, but charcoal fires are not allowed. 17. Pennsylvania, Lehigh Valley. The Lehigh Valley warehouse boom has brought prosperity problems, and a notable LehighValleyNews.com PM2.5 are particles so small that they're invisible to the naked eye, but are made up of a mix of chemicals that can get deep into the lungs and can. Pennsylvania. A year ago, a $100,000 Lehigh Valley air monitoring project launched. What we've learned so far, LehighValleyNews.com, the focus of Lehigh Valley Breeze is to detect and measure concentrations of PM2.5 amid that increase truck traffic and emissions. PM2.5 are 18 Texas Harris County Aldine. Chrisman Road fire scrapyard up in flames. Smoke seen in air. MSN. No injuries have been reported at this time. Aldine Fire and Rescue reports the first party stated they were burning wood pallets outside Point 19A, Canada, British Columbia. Trigon Pacific Terminals area, a project advance notice of planned burn nation talk. Trigon's goal is to burn waste wood with minimal risk to human and environmental health and to minimize smoke from open burning. Test burns of a small 19B Canada. Canadian wildfire emissions dwarfed most countries' Cosmos magazine. From that data, he says his team could back calculate how much wood must have burned, and from that how much carbon dioxide must have been 19C Canada. Thousands still out of homes in Manitoba and Saskatchewan due to wildfires. CTV News Winnipeg. Wildfire smoke causing air quality and visibility issues in northern Manitoba. Daphne Wood. Report an error editorial standards and policies. 20 Australia, Sydney. Restaurant owner fights to save outdoor smoker after council ban notice. Daily Telegraph. RAWSEP View. A wood smoker hurts everyone because air travels and the pollution from wood burning affects the people in the restaurant, the near neighbors of the restaurant, and each polluting wood burning adds to the incremental pollution of the world and hastens climate change. Excerpts edited by RAWSEP for brevity and clarity in relationship to Residents Against Wood Smoke Emission Particulates, a 501c3 nonprofit organization. The smoker isn't hurting anyone, it's far away from neighbors, and because it uses wood and smoke, it's not like cooking charcoal chicken. 21A United Kingdom in North Carolina. Air quality stripes illustrate changing concentrations of particulate matter since beginning of Green Car Congress. Excerpts edited by RAWSEP for brevity and clarity in relationship to Residents Against Wood Smoke Emission Particulates, a 501c3 nonprofit organization. This new guideline is a concentration which is generally classed as very good air quality. There is no safe level of PM2.5 recognized by medical air quality. Stripes illustrate changing concentrations of particulate matter since beginning of Industrial Revolution. August 26, 2024. The global concentrations of particulate matter have been graphically illustrated for the first time by a team of scientists. Data from computer simulations and satellite observations were combined to estimate the changing concentrations of particulate matter since the beginning of the Industrial Revolution, with the color palette for the stripes devised by an artist who analyzed more than 200 online images of air pollution to identify the dominant color palettes. The air quality stripes, which were created by the University of Leeds, the University of Edinburgh, North Carolina State University, and the UK Met Office, starkly contrast the significant improvements in air quality across much of Europe with the deterioration in parts of Africa and Central Asia. The project's findings highlight both the successes and ongoing challenges in tackling air pollution worldwide. There are stripes for the capital city of every nation worldwide, with 2 additional cities for China, India, and the United States. The research team also included their own cities of Leeds, Edinburgh, and Exeter. AQ stripes for Islamabad, illustrating the timeline from 1850 to 2021, with black for very poor and blue for fair. The latest data shows that air quality is still very poor. The lightest blue stripes meet the World Health Organization air quality guidelines, which were introduced in 2021, with all other colors exceeding the guideline values. Key findings: Europe's air quality gains. The images show substantial reductions in particulate matter levels across most of Europe, predominantly Western Europe. Stricter air quality regulations and technological advancements have successfully reduced particulate matter concentrations in most European cities, e.g. London, Brussels, Berlin. Worsening conditions in Central Asia and parts of Africa. The visualizations reveal a concerning rise in particulate matter pollution in many cities in Central Asia and Africa, e.g. Islamabad, Delhi, Nairobi. Rapid urbanization, industrial growth, and limited regulatory frameworks are contributing to this troubling trend, which poses significant health risks to local populations. Global disparities. The images highlight the stark disparities in air quality progress between different regions. The influence of natural sources was particularly notable in some locations. These sources include desert dust and wildfires. Proximity to the coast was often quite noticeable, with locations such as Jakarta having lower levels than might be expected. The World Health Organization recommends that the annual average concentration of PM2.5 should not exceed a concentration of 5 micrograms per cubic meter air, 5 UG/M, superscript 3. This new guideline is a concentration which is generally classed as very good air quality. There is no safe level of PM2.5 recognized by medical science. At present, 99% of the world's population live with concentrations above this value, with the highest PM2.5 levels typically found in low and middle-income countries. The AQ stripes use an annual average to take account of the ups and downs due to changes in weather patterns throughout the year, and to make comparison between locations simpler. However, the researchers point out that even short-term exposure to very high levels can quickly have acute health effects requiring medical treatment. 21B United Kingdom Drax. After wood pellet reporting failures, it's time for a proper review of Drax's subsidies. Nils Pratley, The Guardian. Smoke against a grey sky. Viewed from across a Drax to pay £25 million burning wood pellets to generate electricity. It should cover both the Drax to pay £25 million following auction biomass probe markets. Insider Business Insider. Drax, which receives hefty government subsidies from burning biomass wood chips, lack the necessary data governance and controls in place according. Drax to pay £25 million after regulator finds wood pellet reporting failures. The Guardian. Burning wood pellets imported from overseas forests. A spokesperson for the Department for Energy Security and Net Zero said, "We expect full United Kingdom Drax to pay £25 million penalty for data reporting breach after woodburning probe. The National Ofgem carried out a 15-month investigation into the power station operator after it was accused of burning wood from unsustainable sources. United Kingdom government-subsidized energy giant Drax agrees to pay £25 million fine for misreporting data on Sky News. Energy firm Drax gets multi-million pound government subsidies to burn wood to generate electricity. But an investigation by the energy watchdog, United Kingdom Drax Security, police acting as private security for Drax power station, say climate activists, the Guardian woodburning power station, an unreasonable restriction of free speech. Burning wood pellets can be as bad for the environment as coal. Greenpeace and Friends of the Earth have accused police of acting as private security for the UK's biggest carbon emitter after dozens of preemptive arrests forced the cancellation of a climate protest camp near Drax power station. 21C United Kingdom Energy Saving Trust. Woodburner regulations and fines explained Energy Saving Trust. As local authorities start issuing fines to people for illegal log burner, usually look at the regulations around wood burners. You can only be fined for using a wood-burning stove if you do not follow the proper legislation. For example, if you burn the incorrect fuel. Councils can issue on-the-spot civil penalties for these offenses, ranging from £175 to £300. If you repeatedly break this legislation, you could be taken to the criminal courts. 21D United Kingdom London. Magazine article. Environmental Pollution, Volume 360, November 1, 2024, 124720. Environmental Pollution. Associations between short-term exposure to airborne carbonaceous particles and mortality. A time series study in London during 2010 through 2019. https://doi.org/10.1016/j. NPAL.2024.124720. Excerpts edited by RAWSEP for brevity and clarity in relationship to residents against wood smoke emission particulates, a 501c3 non-profit organization. There is a growing understanding of the health effects of specific PM components. Short-term exposure to carbonaceous particles is associated with increased mortality. The most convincing evidence of an effect was found for woodburning carbon particles. This is important given the rising popularity of woodburning for heating and energy production. More targeted PM abatement policies are needed across the UK and Europe. Abstract. Exposure to ambient particulate matter, PM, has been identified as a major global health concern. However, the importance of specific chemical PM components remains uncertain. Recent studies have suggested that carbonaceous aerosols are important detrimental components of the particle mixture. Using time series methods, we investigated associations between short-term exposure to carbonaceous particles and mortality in London, UK. Daily counts of non-accidental respiratory and cardiovascular deaths were obtained between 2010 and 2019. For the same period, daily concentrations of carbonaceous particles organic, OC, elemental, EC, woodburning, WC, total carbon, TC, and equivalent black carbon, EBC, were sourced from two centrally located monitoring sites, one urban traffic and one urban background. Generalized additive models were used to estimate the percentage change in mortality risk associated with interquartile range increases in particulate concentrations. Lagged effects up to 3 days were examined. Stratified analyses were conducted by age, sex, and season. Separate analyses were also performed by site type. 4 non-accidental mortality positive associations were observed for all particle species at lag 1, including statistically significant percentage risk changes in WC, 0.51%, 95% CI, 0.19%, 0.82%, per IQR, 0.68 μg/m3, and OC, 0.45%, 95% CI, 0.04%, 0.87% per IQR, 2.36 μg/m3. 4 respiratory deaths associations were greatest for particulate concentrations averaged over the current and previous 3 days, with increases in risk of 1.7%, 95% CI, 0.64%, 2.77%, for WC, and 1.31%, 95% CI, minus 0.08%, 2.71%, for OC. No associations were found with cardiovascular mortality. Results were robust to adjustment for particle mass concentrations. Stratified analyses suggested particulate effects were greatest in the summer and respiratory associations more pronounced in females. Our findings are supportive of an association between carbonaceous particles and non-accidental and respiratory mortality. The strongest evidence of an effect was for WC. This is of significance, given the rising popularity of woodburning for residential space heating and energy production across Europe. 1. Introduction. Exposure to ambient particulate matter, PM, has been identified as a major global health concern. Over the past decades, a large literature has amassed documenting the adverse effects of long-term and indeed short-term exposure to PM on health. Previous studies have demonstrated relationships between short-term exposure to carbonaceous particles and adverse health, especially cardiorespiratory diseases. In the meta-analysis by Yang et al., which reviewed evidence from existing time series of PM composition and health, both BC and OC were shown to be robustly associated with cardiovascular and respiratory mortality and cardiovascular hospital admissions. Furthermore, the health risks associated with carbonaceous particles, specifically BC, have been shown to be similar per interquartile range increase in mass concentration, μg/m3, to those of PM10 and PM2.5. In spite of these findings, there has been limited assessment of the short-term effects of carbonaceous particles in the UK, largely because long-time series of data are not readily available. Of the few studies that have been conducted, the primary focus has been traffic emissions, considering only EC/BC, with estimates based on only 2 years of data. In this study, we used time series methods to evaluate associations between daily concentrations of carbonaceous particles and daily all-cause and cause-specific mortality in London, UK, based on data collected over the 10-year period 2010 to 2019. 2 methods. 2.1. Health data. For the study period January 1st, 2010 to November 17th, 2019, 3,608 days. Details of all deaths registered in the administrative region of Greater London were obtained from the Office for National Statistics, ONS. This information was used to establish a database of daily counts of mortality for all non-accidental. International Classification of Diseases version 10. ICD-10A00 or 99, cardiovascular, ICD-10I00, I99, and respiratory, ICD-10J00, J99, causes. Sub-aggregations of the data were also created stratifying counts by age, less than 65 years and greater than or equal to 65 years, and sex, male/female. 2.2. Exposure data. Particulate data were sourced from 2 fixed-site monitoring stations within the London Air Quality Network Marylebone Road, urban traffic, and North Kensington, urban background. These data consisted of daily average concentrations of organic carbon, OC, elemental carbon, EC, total carbon, TC, and PM mass, including PM10 and PM2.5. Measurements of equivalent black carbon, EBC, were also obtained. At both sites, particulate concentrations were collected according to standardized measurement procedures and where necessary were aggregated into daily metrics in line with local air quality management, LAQM, guidance. Measurement data were obtained for the whole study period January 2010 to November 2019, with the exception of ECOC and TC at North Kensington that were only available up to November 2018 due to relocation of monitoring equipment. Where possible, missing values were imputed for days where particle concentrations were available at only one of the 2 study monitoring sites. Here we opted for a simple ratio-based approach with missing values at site X, calculated by multiplying the corresponding values at site Y by the overall monthly average between the 2 sites. See equation below equals CYMD asterisk CXM/CYM, where X/Y represent the 2 monitoring stations M the month and D the day of measurement. For cases where missing values fell within months with less than 50% data availability, multiplier ratios were based on seasonal as opposed to monthly averages. To estimate a daily average citywide concentration, mean measurements was taken across the 2 sites. As an additional metric of carbonaceous exposure, daily concentrations of PM from woodburning, hereafter woodburning carbon, WC, were also obtained for the study period, available from January 2010 to November 2019. These measurements were derived using dual wavelength ethylometers to estimate the concentration of PM2.5 from wood and solid fuel burning. The method relies on PM2.5 from wood and solid fuel burning being more strongly light absorbing at short wavelengths when compared with soot from diesel emissions. Notably, values were only able to be reliably calculated for North Kensington. Further details regarding the derivation of WC concentrations can be found elsewhere. 2.3. Meteorology. Meteorological data, including daily mean temperature, degree C, and relative humidity, percent, for London City Airport were extracted from the NOAA Integrated Surface Database, ISD. 2.4. Statistical analysis. Generalized additive quasi-Poisson regression models, GMs, were used to quantify associations between daily concentrations of carbonaceous particles and mortality by cause. GM extends the traditional generalized linear modeling approach by replacing linear predictors with unspecified, non-parametric functions. The GM approach has been widely adopted in time series studies of air pollution and health mainly due to its inherent flexibility, enabling non-parametric adjustments for nonlinear confounding effects of seasonality trends and weather variables. In the current study, we specified a natural spline function of calendar time with 8 degrees of freedom, DF, per year to control for seasonality and long-term trends. Meteorological confounding was addressed using smooth splines of daily mean temperature, temp, and relative humidity, RHT, with 6 DF and 3 DF respectively. The smoothing applied to each of the splines was selected according to previous literature. To investigate for latency in the exposure response, particle concentrations were lagged between the current and previous 3 days. Single day lag 0 to lag 3 and moving average lag 0.3. This period was selected in accordance with previous studies which have shown associations between PM and mortality to be greatest within the 0 to 3 day lag interval. In line with previous studies, age and sex specific analyses were performed to identify potentially vulnerable groups. Stratified analyses were also performed by season, warm May to October or cold November to April, with models adjusted for time segmentation, temperature, and humidity. To assess whether estimates differed according to exposure site type, analyses were repeated using measurement data from Marylebone Road and North Kensington individually. 2 pollutant models were used to evaluate the extent to which estimated associations were confounded by particle mass, with ECOC and TC being adjusted for PM10 and EBC and WC for PM2.5 reflecting the particle size for each measurement. Sensitivity to modeling assumptions was tested by varying the degree of smoothing applied to both meteorological, 2 to 10 DF for daily mean temperature and relative humidity, and temporal trend adjustments, 4 to 12 DF/year. Analyses were also performed using the raw exposure data, that is prior to the imputation of any missing values. Diagnostic plots were used to assess for deviances from linearity. All models were fitted in our version 4.0.4, our development core team, 2021, using functions from the GM package, version 1.20, T, Hasty, 2020. Effect estimates were expressed as a percentage change in the risk of mortality per interquartile range, IQR, increase in mass particle concentrations. Significance was evaluated at a confidence level of 95%. 3. Results 3.1. Descriptive analyses. Descriptive characteristics of the study exposure and health outcome data are shown in Table 1 between January 1st, 2010 and November 17th, 2019. A total of 456,300 non-accidental deaths were registered in Greater London, equating to an average of 126 deaths per day. IQR equals 24. The mean daily number of deaths from cardiovascular causes was 37. IQR equals 11, and 18. IQR equals 7 for respiratory causes. Table 1. Descriptive characteristics of study exposure and health outcome data collected for London between 2010 and 2019. Mean SD, minimum, median, maximum IQR. Particulate data. Elemental carbon. 24H average μg/m3. Marylebone Road 96% 4.57, 2.8, 70.404.00, 18.423.66. North Kensington 99%. 0.9, 30.770.040.73, 10.650.65. City average 99%. B. 2.85, 1.610.32, 2.54, 10.742.10. Organic carbon. 24H average μg/m3. Marylebone Road 96% 5.992.6, 31.345.45, 29.043.04. North Kensington 99%. 3.472.090.5, 8, 2.91, 29.862.08. City average 99%. 4.76, 2.201.1, 8, 4.22, 29.45, 2.36. Total carbon. 24H average μg/m3. Marylebone Road 96% 10.544.97, 1.999.65, 38.126.35. North Kensington 99%. 4.41, 2.740.78, 3.69, 36.68, 2.76. City average 99%. B. 7.60, 3.41, 1.576, 6.94, 37.404.12. Equivalent black carbon. 24H average μg/m3. Marylebone Road 100% 6.10, 4.210.26, 5.13, 27.415.47. North Kensington 100% 1.221.0, 10.1, 30.93, 12.8, 10.90. City average 100% 3.66, 2.340.28, 3.11, 17.443.11. Woodburning carbon. 24H average μg/m3. North Kensington 92% 0.8, 6, 0.8, 2, 0.00, 2, 0.60, 10.02, 0.68. PM10. 24H average μg/m3. Marylebone Road 98% 27.73, 12.57, 6.42, 24.8, 6, 110.41, 14.41. North Kensington 93% 19.40, 10.9, 23.16, 16.6, 1, 84.65, 10.90. City average 93%, 23.63, 11.32, 4.88, 20.74, 90.6, 7, 12.18. PM2.5. 24H average μg/m3. Marylebone Road 96% 18.25, 10.15, 3.05, 15.50, 95.77, 10.96. North Kensington 99%, 12.85, 9.65, 1.65, 9.79, 100, and 2.198.72. City average 96%, 15.57, 9.66, 2.76, 12.73, 98.989, 9.31. Mortality data. Non-accidental. Total 100%, 126, 18.7976, 124, 215.24. Less than 65 years, 100%, 22.5.1, 18, 22.46.7. 65 years, 100%, 104, 17.00, 62, 100, and 2, 100, and 85.22. Male 100%, 62, 10.47, 33, 62, 100, and 6.14. Female 100% 64, 11.50, 31, 63, 126.15. Cardiovascular. Total 100%, 37, 7.69, 1636, 74.11. Less than 65 years, 100%, 52.4, 105, 17.3. 65 years, 100%, 31, 7.0, 5, 13, 31, 66, 10. Male 100%, 19.4.9, 3, 5, 1939, 7. Female 100%, 18.4.96, 3, 1739, 7. Respiratory. Total 100%, 18.6.39, 4, 17.54, 7. Less than 65 years, 100%, 21.3, 40.191. 65 years, 100%, 16.5.96, 4, 15.58. Male 100%, 93.680, 8.35. Female 100%, 94.060, 9.32.5. Meteorological data. 24H average. Temperature, degrees C. 100%, 12.245.54 minus 3.00, 12.21, 29.06, 8.44. Relative humidity percent. 100% 73.339.99 41.93 73.68 99.48 14.51. Footnote. Abbreviations average equals average IQR equals interquartile range PM2.5 equals particulate matter with aerodynamic diameter less than 2.5 micrometers in mass concentration. μg/m3. PM10 equals particulate matter with aerodynamic diameter less than 10 micrometers in mass concentration. μg/m3. SD equals standard deviation. Availability of data is expressed as a percentage of the total number of study days, 3,608 days, and was calculated following the imputation of missing values. Measurement data available between January 1, 2010 to November 12, 2018 availability evaluated up to last recorded date. Particulate concentrations at Marylebone Road were greater than those at North Kensington as expected. Across the site's daily mean concentrations and IQR of EC, OC, EBC, and TC were 2.85, 2.10, 4.76, 2.36, 3.66, 3.11, and 7.60, 4.12, μg/m3 respectively, while the average daily concentration of WC at North Kensington was 0.86, 0.68 μg/m3. Particle concentrations varied seasonally, peaking in the winter. This was particularly evident for WC and EBC. Downward trends in particle concentration were observed over the study period, most notably for EBC, with annual average concentrations decreasing from 5.16 μg/m3 in 2010 to 1.42 μg/m3 in 2019. Large reductions were also observed in EC, from 3.88 μg/m3 in 2010 to 1.69 μg/m3 in 2018. 5. Conclusion. In summary, our results are supportive of an association between short-term exposure to carbonaceous particles and all-cause and respiratory mortality. The strongest evidence of an effect was for WC. This is particularly important given the rising popularity of wood burning for residential heating and energy production across the UK and Europe. Additional studies are required to confirm our findings. 21. United Kingdom Miliband Energy Secretary. Green groups urge Ed Miliband to scrap Drax subsidies. Biomass and bioenergy. The Guardian. Open letter to Labour Energy Secretary from 41 groups says wood-burning biomass plants are putting forests and biodiversity at risk. United Kingdom. Miliband urged to end subsidies for firms burning wood for electricity. Jersey Evening Post. Energy Secretary Ed Miliband is facing calls to end financial support for companies generating electricity from burning wood, including Britain's United Kingdom. Miliband urged to end subsidies for firms burning wood for electricity. News chain. Campaigners from wood pellet exporting countries are calling on the new government to end financial support for firms burning them for United Kingdom. Campaigners urge UK Energy Secretary to end biomass subsidies. Bioenergy Insight. We urge you not to grant any new subsidies to wood-burning power stations in the UK, they said. It comes as the current system of biomass. 28. United Kingdom. Miliband urged to end subsidies for firms burning wood for electricity. Perspective magazine. Campaigners from wood pellet exporting countries are calling on the new government to end financial support for firms burning them for electricity. United Kingdom. Miliband urged to end subsidies for firms burning wood for electricity. The Independent. Campaigners from wood pellet exporting countries are calling on the new government to end financial support for firms burning them for 21F. United Kingdom. Sudbury. Youth fixer Sudbury man runs afoul of city's open-air burning rules. Northern News. Greater Sudbury has strict rules on the matter. For example, only clean wood can be burned within municipal boundaries. United Kingdom. Sudbury. The fixer Sudbury man runs afoul of city's open-air burning rules. Sudbury. 21G. United Kingdom. Warwickshire. Get ready for Chimney Fire Safety Week. Warwickshire County Council burning wet, unseasoned wood and leaving fires smoldering overnight. To keep your wood-burning stove safe and efficient, make sure you use quality 21H. United Kingdom. Wirral Council streamlines smoke control regulations across Borough. Birkenhead. News. Unauthorized fuels, such as wood or ordinary coal, can only be burned in a smoke control area when using a DEFRA-approved appliance one that is on 21I. United Kingdom. Yorkshire. How to get ready and avoid a fine during wood-burning stove season. Yorkshire Post. The first day of autumn, September 22nd, is creeping closer, and there is no doubt that thoughts will be turning to wood-burning and multi-fuel stoves. 22. Europe. Environment statistics at regional level. European Commission. European Union. Air pollution is a major cause of premature death and disease in the EU, with fine particulate matter, PM2.5, deemed to have the most severe impacts. 23. Sweden. Updated data. Uppsala has cleanest city air in Europe. European Environment Agency. European Union. Particulate matter, PM2.5. The data was collected from over 500 monitoring stations at urban locations across EEA member countries over the past 24. Germany and Finland. German company to build world's largest heat pump in Helsinki. Euractiv. Woodburning, a practice harmful to forests and human lungs. After all, Finland is one of the EU's most enthusiastic burners of wood. Up to 20% of 25. Kazakhstan. Air quality impacts of ArcelorMittal's Temirtau steel plant in Kazakhstan. 1996 to 2023. Center for Research on Energy and Clean Air. We estimate that exposure to PM2.5 from the Temirtau steel plant has led to deaths among the local adult population due to ischemic heart disease. 26A. China. Health co-benefits of post-COVID-19 low-carbon recovery in Chinese cities. Nature. Following the lockdown, the PM2.5 level rebounded, rising to levels higher than that during the lockdown, but still lower than pre-pandemic levels. 26B. China. Zhejiang drives green electricity. ChinaDaily.com.cn. China daily wood-burning stoves to electric ones by installing heating elements. Now there's less smoke from burning wood, more convenient and cost. Wood-burning stoves to electric ones by installing heating element circuits and control systems at the base of the traditional stoves. 27A. India. Government inaction on pollution deadly, reducing people's lifespan. The Tribune. India. PM2.5 in the air. In Delhi alone, 12,000 people die annually because of this, which accounts for 11.5% of the total deaths each year. 27B. India. Impacts of current and climate-induced changes in atmospheric stagnation on Indian surface. Nature. Elevated fine particulate matter, PM2.5, concentrations have severe adverse health impacts. India experiences some of the highest ambient PM2.5 levels. Marginal decrease in PM2.5 levels in 2022 added 1 year to average life expectancy. Hindustan Times. A mere 10 microgram. A strand of human hair weighs 600 microgram. Decline in the concentration of PM2.5, particulate matter with a size of 2.5. Delhi dwellers losing 7.8 years to PM2.5 pollution. Report. Hindustan Times. It said that even containing the level of PM2.5 particulate matter having diameter less than 2.5. Last year's EPIC report based on 2021 data. Haryana HRY and Punjab PB rank among most polluted states. Chandigarh News Times of India. Meanwhile, the annual average PM2.5 concentration has been recorded at the life expectancy gains for Haryana and Punjab are 1.8 years and 1.1 years. Center must increase funding for anti-pollution measures. Congress Daily Pioneer. NCAP must adopt measurement of PM2.5 levels as the yardstick for performance. NCAP must reorient its focus to key sources of emissions, burning of rupees 5,000 crore rupees needed to control air pollution in 14 cities, says study the New Indian Express. The report said that among the cities except Thoothukudi, vehicular movement was the major source of particulate matter, PM2.5 emissions, with air pollution bad air costing Lud almost 7 years of life. Ludhiana News Times of India. The report highlights Tarn with a potential life expectancy increase of 7.6 years, the highest in the state, if the PM2.5 level were. Global Health Organization hails PMUI LPG scheme for poor biz buzz. Would coal stove smoke in household kitchens, according to a study by Global Public Health Organization Vital Strategies. Image for illustrative. A targeted subsidy of 200 rupees per 14.2 kilograms LPG cylinder for up to 12 refills per year is being provided to PMUI consumers. Without continuation of PMUI, eligible poor households may not be able to get their due benefit under the scheme. Here's why PM2.5 pollution dipped in 2022 in India. The Indian Express. The report by the Energy Policy Institute at the University of Chicago said, meeting the World Health Organization, WHO's pollution guidelines. Marginal dip in PM2.5 levels in 2022, year added to average life expectancy, report Hindustan Times. The report suggested the drop in PM2.5 concentrations in 2022 in South Asia may be linked to meteorological causes, such as above normal rainfall. India's air quality improved in 2022, but still at concerning levels. India spanned. PM2.5 particles are capable of infiltrating the lungs and occasionally entering the bloodstream, resulting in serious health consequences. India records 19.3% reduction in particulate pollution, but air pollution remains the biggest times of India. The annual average PM2.5 concentration has been recorded at 58.5 micrograms per cubic meter in Haryana and 51.6 micrograms per cubic meter in Punjab, which are respectively 4th and 5th place. South Asia air pollution fell in 2022, but remains major killer, report The Hindu. While it is difficult to conclusively determine what reduced PM2.5 levels across South Asia, it is safe to posit that favorable. Song slams government over rapidly deteriorating air quality, policy chaos in its response. Energy News. PM2.5 that are the leading causes of mortality, Ramesh said. Advertisement. Ad. To make matters worse, in the past 5 years, the central pollution. Song slams government over rapidly deteriorating air quality, policy chaos in its response. The week. PM2.5 that are the leading causes of mortality, Ramesh said. To make matters worse, in the past 5 years, the central pollution control. Shocking disclosure from a study regarding huge rise in the emissions in Chennai. Madurai Live. Chennai. While the industries have led to 97% of PM2.5 emissions in Thoothukudi, the transportation sector contributed to an increase in the PM2.5 emissions. Anti-people environmental law amendments made in past 10 years must be rolled back, Song the statesman. PM2.5 that are the leading causes of mortality, Ramesh said. The Congress MP further said, to make matters worse, in the last 5 years, the 27B India and wood-burning bakery pollution. BMC mandates Mumbai bakeries to obtain licenses to move to cleaner fuels. Deccan Herald. Surveying over 200 bakeries, the study titled Envisioning a Sustainable Bakery Industry for Mumbai found that most bakeries still use wood-fired ovens. Emissions from wood-fired ovens are a major source of PM10 and PM2.5 tiny particles that can penetrate deep into the lungs, causing respiratory and DBMC mandates Mumbai bakeries to transition to cleaner fuels by 2027 to combat air pollution. Curly tails. The emissions from wood-burning ovens are dangerous. They release PM10 and PM2.5 particles which are small enough to enter the lungs and cause severe. 28. Nepal. Nepal ranks as the 3rd most polluted country in the world. My Republican Nagaruk Network. According to the report, the annual average of Nepal's PM2.5 in 2022 was 39.2 micrograms per cubic meter. Particulate matter with a diameter of 2.5 kilocalories becomes Nepal's first healthy city and second healthiest city in Asia. News on Air. This news comes amidst reports of Nepal being the 3rd most polluted country in the world based on satellite-derived particulate matter 2.5 data. 29. Singapore. Air pollution linked to 135 million premature deaths, researchers claim. MSN researchers at Singapore's Nanyang Technological University, NTU, said high levels of particulate matter 2.5, PM2.5, from man-made emissions and 30 PM2.5 and cerebrospinal fluid. Association between air pollution and cerebrospinal fluid. Alpha Sinukline. In Urban Elders Frontiers, we aim to explore the associations of air pollution, including ozone, O3, nitrogen dioxide, NO2, and particulate matter, PM2.5, with CSF alpha sin 30 PM2.5 and NAFLD. Associations of ambient air pollution and lifestyle with the risk of non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, NAFLD. Biomed, Central BMC Public Health Air Pollution Assessment. The annual average estimates of particulate matter with aerodynamic diameter less than or equal to 2.5 micrometer PM2.5 the coarse particulate.